Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing another what to do next, but this time it's going to be on Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter and I'm excited for this one. I've got so many ideas. So please like, comment and subscribe and please keep watching. Harry Potter. Well, what can I say about Harry Potter? Honestly, it's my favourite book series, my favourite film series. Just makes me happy to even think about it. Yeah, great childhood memories thinking about Harry Potter. The original book series and film series is honestly the best. It's a blueprint to what I want films and books to be like. However, I will say that I am disappointed in everything that has happened after the last book and the last film, The Deathly Hallows. It has been an honest disappointment and it just could have been more. So let's get into it. The Harry Potter series, in my opinion, was almost perfect. The books were absolutely flawless, except for one, but you know, I'm not going to get into that now. The films were great. I would say one of the best book to film adaptations ever. But I've been really disappointed in everything that has happened after The Deathly Hallows. It hasn't lived up to my expectations. You know, the Harry Potter world, the wizarding world, was so big. There's so many stories that could have been told, and then they gave us Fantastic Beasts, and then they gave us that play. It just hasn't been it. It's been dry, it's crusty, and I think my ideas for what should happen next are going to be a lot more better than what they've given us. After Deathly Hallows, I was really hoping for either a Voldemort origin story, although I know that the Voldemort origin story was kind of already in the Harry Potter series. I would not have minded watching it in full or reading it in full, or I wanted the origin story of Hogwarts. So the original four creators of Hogwarts, I wanted to see how they created it. I wanted to see what went wrong, what went right. I wanted to see the how Salazar Slytherin created the Chamber of Secrets. I wanted to see that. That was what I expected. That's what I, as you know, a creator would have created, because I thought it would have been interesting. Or I would have gone completely away from you know, the Harry Potter story or anything to do with Harry Potter. I would have shown the creation of Durmstrang or something like that, another school, something more interesting. They gave us Fantastic Beasts. The first Fantastic Beasts it was good. It was okay. It wasn't what I expected, because I thought they would concentrate more on the school element. The second Fantastic Beast was honest crap. Like crap. I cannot believe how bad it was. It took me 4 times watching it to get to the end and to understand what was happening. I could not believe what I was watching. If, in all honesty, I would not be mad if they decided to cancel the entire Fantastic Beasts series and start again with something else, because they really messed up. Something so amazing like Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, and they created Fantastic Beasts. Like, really? Anyway, this isn't about Fantastic Beasts. So, what should happen next? These are a few of my ideas. So my first idea, and I think might be a little controversial, but it's also a no-brainer. I think J.K. Rowling needs to stay far away from the Harry Potter film universe. I wouldn't mind her input in terms of what to do and what it's going to be about, but in terms of writing the films, she cannot do it. She absolutely ruined the second Fantastic Beasts films with her writing. She's clearly a book writer, a novel writer, and not a film writer. She should stick to what she knows best, and that is writing novels. She was an amazing novelist and she should stick to that. But in terms of the films, another writer should be brought on to write it and to actually bring it to fruition. She should stay far away from it. Like I said, she ruined the second Fantastic Beasts film. Absolutely ruined it. So that's my first idea. That sounds really mean of me, saying that the author, the creator, should stay away, but it's going to make it a lot better if she does, to be honest. My second idea is that they need to stay away from anything to do with Harry Potter and his story, anything to do with them in a major way anyway. Because of the failures of Fantastic Beasts and a little bit of the actual main Harry Potter story, a lot of the world connected to Harry Potter, in my opinion, has already been told. You can't get into Dumbledore like they're doing now with the Fantastic Beasts story, because it's kind of already been told. We know how Dumbledore ends. It's not that interesting. And in my opinion, that's why Game of Thrones, the Long Night prequel, was cancelled, because we already know how, the Ice King, well, I forgot his name, it's been so long, died. It's just not interesting anymore to see a prequel, because we know how he dies. We know he didn't die in an interesting way. So, they killed the joy. And it goes for the same with Dumbledore and his story. They kind of ruined, the element of surprise and, what happened with Grindelwald, because in the actual Harry Potter films, he obviously gives up where the wand is, but in the books he doesn't do that. So it kind of makes the Fantastic Beasts storyline a little bit redundant and boring. And because of that, in my opinion, they need to stay far away from anything to do with the Harry Potter world, because it's just going to ruin it. It's going to ruin our experiences. What they can do is prequels, which sort of allude to, the Harry Potter world, to Voldemort and stuff like that, or sequels taking place maybe hundreds of years after, or maybe, a few years after, where there's like little mention of Harry Potter and, Hermione and all of them. But in my opinion, they need to stay away from it. The Harry Potter world, the Wizarding world is huge. They can literally go to anywhere in the world, in the Wizarding world, and there will be an amazing story. So my second idea is to stay away from anything to do with Harry Potter and the main Harry Potter story. I believe there's been talks of a Harry Potter HBOmax series. I think it's been announced, or it's been rumoured, and I think it's going to happen. I mean, the Harry Potter world is huge. They're rebooting everything from, Lord of the Rings on Amazon. So I'm expecting a Harry Potter series announcement, and I think that would be really, 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 really good. I think to get us interested in that series, they need to move back towards the Hogwarts sort of school experience. I think what makes Harry Potter great is that most people that watched it wanted to be in Hogwarts. We wanted to be in a wizarding school. We wanted to have powers. We wanted to learn. We wanted to, do Wingardium Leviosa and all of those lessons, and, flying lessons and stuff like that. So I think they need to move back to, the basics. They need to do that. They need to go back to a wizarding school, and they need a villain just as big and bad as Voldemort. I think what would be really, really, really interesting is if the villain was in school with them, another student who is terrible, whose parents are terrible, who grows up to be terrible. So we're watching them being terrible, and obviously the good people are, the Harry Potter types. That would be really interesting to watch, and it would make a great series. I think it should still remain PG, or maybe 12-ish. They should make it a little bit adultier, but not a lot. I think they can do a lot within those margins. A lot, a lot, a lot. One of the best things, in my opinion, about the Harry Potter universe is that I feel like the stakes were really high. A lot of people died, and a lot of people lived, but it made it feel so real. Like, the people that we loved were dying because of Voldemort, and I think that's something they need to keep. They need to make sure that whoever the villain is, make them kill a lot of people we love, a lot of people we like, and it will just make us invested. It will really make us invested. So another thing that I think they should do to make it better is they shouldn't introduce any more magical capabilities, because in my opinion that's one of the things that ruined Fantastic Beasts, is that they keep introducing this new element. Oh, these magical people can do this and they can do that. And it's like, well, where was all of these powers and all of these capabilities in the original Harry Potter series? You know, all of a sudden they can do all of this stuff, or where was all of this? So they should just keep it to the basics, keep the powers to what they were, you know, make it so that only special people can talk to snakes, you know, make it so that yeah, so they just need to keep it, make it basic again. Stop trying to introduce new power levels that we didn't see during the original, because everything that we know about Harry Potter has come from the original series. So if you try to introduce anything else or anything more power level wise, it's going to take away from the original series, and that's something that they shouldn't do. If they do introduce any sort of power level that we've never seen before, it needs to come from some sort of ancient being that was buried a long time ago and has now come back with all of these powers. You know, that sort of storyline. So yeah, that's another thing that they should do, or they should make sure that they do. Thank you for watching part 1 of my Harry Potter What to Do Next series. This video was purely on what I think they did wrong and little elements that I think they need to introduce to make it interesting, and you know, what to do next. In part 2, I will be going more into detail in terms of storylines that I want to see, the types of characters that I want to see, what I think they should do with the characters from the originals, the original film series, the original book series, and sort of the errors that I want to see from the Wizarding World. So please tune in, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.